you. Okay. You people. God bless you. This is Brother D. Roy Cruz, your Life Applications Officer, coming to you again with the atheists on my mind, praying for atheists, laughing at atheists. Lord, forgive me for mocking atheists and the other institutions and movements that try to protect this system or make the system appear good. Loving on atheists, being nice to atheists, kicking their butt, and mending their wounds, handing out bottles of milk and pacifiers and Pampers. The comment section today, did I mention that this is D. Roy Cruz? You're like, yeah, I did mention that. I want to make sure you understand who I am. I am your Life Applications Officer for the simple fact that I'm not here to be an apologist. I apply this to life. Atheists seem to think that or they seem to act. I don't think they really think. If they really thought that way, they wouldn't even bother to go on anyone's channel and post the same dumb remark over and over and over and over again. But I don't think that atheists think that we just merely believe. That's what they want us to think they believe. They know we don't merely just believe because we went to church while we were drunk and walked out while we was drunk. Or we was high when we went to church and we walked out even higher. No, when we walked into church, whether we were rich and perfect or poor and stupid, we walked in there understanding that in all of our beauty, we need God. Or we understood that with all our filthy rags, only God can help us. I don't care what these atheists think. But just like it takes a man to really understand a woman, and it takes a real man to love a woman when she don't look as pretty as all the other women, when she done gained a little bit of weight, when her skin ain't just as smooth, when her hair ain't just as nice, when her body, her figure, her physique doesn't look as good as a lot of the women you work with. It takes a real man to look past all that and love a woman. Well, it takes a real man to love God. Not because God is a woman. Not because God is an ugly woman. But because God is your daddy. Your daddy that already done whooped your behind. Okay? And he's going to whoop it again if you don't get right with him. Okay? While you sitting there hating on God. Okay? God is whooping your butt. Because every time you get angry with something other than God, and trust me, you will, whether it be your boss at work, your wife, your husband, your children, or you know, your neighbor, or whatever it might be. When you get mad at your own cancer or your diabetes or your fat or your, the medical improvement that you tried to do to yourself, it didn't work out right. Whatever it might be. At the end of the day, after you got done cursing God and saying all kinds of blasphemies and all that kind of thing about God, God is laughing. Psalms chapter 2. God is laughing at you. He really is. He's laughing. And not only he, but we, the Christians, go on and prove that there is no existence of God. Go on and prove it if you can. Go on and prove that Noah's Ark is a joke. Go on and prove it if you think you can. Go on and prove to me that this earth has been here billions of years. Go on and prove it if you can. But at the end of the day, you know why there's a lot of things that tick you off? Because God is kicking your butt, just like he's kicking everybody else's. You don't get to be an exception, atheists. Okay? Let's start off with this dumb rant that goes on and on and on and on and on and on about where is the existence of God. Where is the existence of your boss when we need him? When you were standing there at work, running your mouth, knowing that you need to get your butt back downstairs to work. Where was the existence of your boss? Where was the existence of your boss when you showed up late? Where was the existence of your boss when you left the property and went across to the store and you was gone for half an hour and you had people covering for you? Where was your boss? Where was his existence? He either wasn't there because he chose not to be there, and you knew that, or he just didn't want to be around you because he knew if he was around you, you might be out of a job and he might be out of an employee. Think about that. Okay? And I know that employers constantly tolerate is the word. Tolerate a lot of nonsense on the job. Guy I trained for this position, I finally found somebody to replace me so that I could step into my promotion this week. It's been a great week. I'm concerned that he won't do my job like I did it. And I'm concerned that I'll have to hear about it. And I'm concerned that other people will be afraid to tell him, hey, we need you to be like this, or we need you to do this like this. And, But your boss, just because he does not exist, does not mean he ain't watching you. Does not mean that he ain't hearing from the grapevine. Don't mean that your buddies that you kick it with at work ain't snitching on you. Doesn't mean that he didn't see you leave the premises and look at his watch. He saw you on the camera leaving the premises. Doesn't mean he don't have people watching him or watching you for him. He's got his eyes on you, especially when you talking $1 million corporation. He's got his eyes on you. Just this week I saw the nicest guy I knew at the facility where I work at snap on an employee. And I guarantee you, it was like, you're going to get this done or you're going to be fired. And the guy tried to say some stuff, and the guy says, if you don't do it, you're fired. And I've never seen him act like that before. But there is a day of reckoning, my friends. There is a day of reckoning for everything. There is a day of reckoning for everything and everybody. Your day is coming. My day is coming. All of our days. Judgment is coming, people. It's not a joke. It's not a fantasy. It's coming. You know it's coming because you just call it something different. We call it the judgment of God. You worried about global warming. You worried about, climate change and all this stuff. We're looking at our watches, and we're looking at Bible prophecy, and we're thinking and praying about the judgment of God because it's coming. Just because you give it different names don't mean that something don't exist. You just give it a different name, that's all. What you call God, I call non-existence. And what you call not existing, I call God. Let's talk about that real quick. Atheists seem to think that if they keep on throwing that at you, where's the existence of God? Okay, there's no existence of God. Okay. And you came to my channel knowing that I've heard that a dozen times. Why? Because you really think that's going to cut it down the middle? You really think that's going to blow the whistle? You really think that's going to shut me up? Yeah, it'll shut me up. But it ain't going to keep me from preaching the gospel, baby. It's not. Keep on saying that. Okay, no evidence for God. Okay, no evidence for God. Where's the evidence of God? Everything I say in 44 minutes. Where's the evidence of God? Where's the evidence of your brain? Where's the evidence of your maturity? As I told one commentator today. Where's the evidence of your maturity? Am I talking to a grown adult with an open mind, or am I talking to a child? You can't win a debate with a child. The child will always win. The only thing you can do is, okay, you're grounded. Go to your room. You're not going to win a debate, though. Sometimes a lot of times in a child's life, it's all about authority. It's not about the child understanding why do I need to wear a coat outside, Mom? It don't make sense. Child, it is 30 degrees outside. You cannot wear that dress. Mom! You're not going to win with this kid. Put the jacket on. End of discussion. Okay? Put the jacket on. End of discussion. Just because you don't understand. Just because you don't understand. Okay? Don't mean that I'm not your parent. That doesn't mean that I stop being a parent just because you don't understand. I'm still the parent. You're still the child. Even though you don't understand. And I'm not going to win this debate. But you're still the child. I'm still the parent. I'm going to win because I'm just going to say, look here. Okay, you win. Go to bed. And when you come out of that room, you better have a coat on. Okay? You don't have to understand God. But when the weatherman says it's going to have sunshine, the one that was an idiot enough to bring an umbrella, because it rained. God must have changed his mind. The weatherman said in the forecast, sunshine, less humid, but the rain came. How many times a week does that go on? But the rain came and made everything humid. And the guy down the street that talks to himself brought an umbrella. How did he know it was going to rain? When the forecast said, beautiful day, no humidity levels. But guess what? According to the Bible, there is no existence of atheists understanding or atheists or scientific evidence for God. The evidence for God is the same reason why I don't believe in everything. Probably only about maybe 10% or 20% of science. And I believe probably almost zero evolution. Because the existence of God shows me that there is no evidence of anything outside of God that can be responsible for being as great as God. When science reaches the level of someone being able to call science God, science, there is no evidence of that kind of science. The science of evolution that claims that there's always something going on. In this room, there's something evolving right now. I just can't see it. I don't believe it. Because it's not part of the evidence that I understand to be of God. Now, if the evidence of God said that God was evolving molecules, okay, out of this eraser into my bloodstream, or you know, dry paint, or, you know, this Vaseline was penetrating my skin, okay, if that was in my Bible some kind of way, maybe I would believe it. But people will believe anything as long as it's not in the Bible. You can make them believe in Harry Potter. You can make them believe that Dr. Zeus is really out there somewhere walking in the woods. We live in a country, especially America, where people are dumb enough to think that there is another sex between a man and a woman. You have man and you have woman and you have transgenderism. I don't believe in that kind of science. I don't believe in that kind of evolution. Sorry. And atheists have never, ever debated anything but God, but the Bible. Debate some of these goofball lifestyles out here. And explain to me why you feel they're wrong. And then maybe I'll listen to you tell me why you think this Bible cannot fit into our society. Why this Bible is an ancient book and it's good for nothing. But, I mean, Bruce Jenner doesn't say everything is okay as much as an atheist does. At least Bruce Jenner has a little wee bit of morals about how things are. Like he even, well, I'm not going to go into what he said. That's another video. But I had to agree with him. You know what he said. You've seen it in the news. You know what he said. He said one thing that's very important. His transgenderism is personal. has nothing to do with what marriage is founded on, has nothing to do with the concept of man and woman. And I don't think Bruce Jenner is really an atheist either. God might have mercy on Bruce Jenner before he has mercy on a lot of straight people that mock God. Maybe. That's going to take a lot of prayer, and that's going to take a lot of rebuking and casting out some demons. Okay. All right, let me get on with it here. I'm going to say something to you right now. It's going to make you laugh, atheists. This is really going to entertain you. It entertains me a little bit too, but it's true. When I laugh at it, I can only accept that, okay, well, that's the Bible's interpretation of it. So, all right, whatever. You know, hey, I'm 51 years old. I was born in 1966. When I was born, everybody out on the street knew about like 20% of the Bible. And, I mean, you know, if somebody was an atheist, you didn't even know he existed. He just walked away. Where'd the guy go? Wasn't there another guy standing here? There was a dude. He was standing right here when we was talking. And then when we started talking, he left. Where'd he go? Oh, you didn't want to talk about it. He just left. But no, now today, they don't do that. Okay? They just shut everybody down, go up against 5 people and say, well, all y'all shut up, I'm talking, I got the floor. There is no God. And I said, security, police, come get this. Whatever this is, get it out. It's speaking in tongues. It's speaking some demonic tongues. It can't express, it's having trouble talking. What is it? Is it human? What is that? I thought the guy was human, but then he started talking some space age, you know, Klingon warrior nonsense. I don't know what he's talking about. I think he's about to just lose it and start shooting. Somebody need to arrest this dude and put him in a mental institution until he calms down. So, here we go. 33, Exodus, and 18. I'm not going to hold you long. I know atheists hate the Bible. Okay? But when I go to your videos, I listen to the whole video. Even though I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. This guy, oh my Lord, where'd they get this guy? And I don't even leave a comment. Because I know that, you know, that's your thing. That's your channel, that's your nonsense. I'm not going to argue. It's not up for argument. I'm not going to argue with you, okay? But I'll listen to you. I'm just not going to argue with you. Not because I can't argue with you. Because I got 66 books to argue about it with. But I know that you don't have enough brain to read between the lines, so you try to just, you know, you're not going to sit there and hold me up for a solid hour or even a half an hour to tell me, well, that's an old book. Well, then why am I reading from it then? Why are you listening to me quote from it? Just like when you know, if I was to talk to a Muslim right now, it would take me 5 minutes or less. Okay, because I would tell him, well, I don't believe Allah is God. Okay? And if he wanted to go here, I could show him here. But if he steps away from this, well, I really don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'm not going to act like I know what you're talking about when I don't. I don't read the Quran. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that is. Okay, so goodbye. Shake on it. High five, fists. It was nice knowing you, brother. I'll be praying for you. You know, but no, you guys will hold me up for an hour, 2 hours, a whole debate. Okay, to turn around like Dan Barker at the end of the... Okay, let us remember there is no God. Well, wait a minute. You spent 2 hours acting like you was trying to find God, Dan Barker. Now it's, oh, let us remember there is no God. No, that's being ignorant. That's being a jack behind is what that is. Okay? You have this man come out of his southern state and drive all the way here, okay, to talk to you. Okay? Because you want to have this debate. Don't try to blow whistles. Okay? Don't try to shut it down because you can't win without being ignorant and mocking and nasty. Don't shut it down like that. You wanted this. Here we go. Okay? Bring a lunch and some pajamas and a lot of coffee. Because no matter how boring it is, how boring do you think listening to your nonsense is? When you say the things to us that are like one thing after the other that there is no proof of. Okay? There is no proof of anything being higher or smarter than God. There isn't. There is no proof of anything being higher or smarter than God. So your answer, oh, he doesn't exist. That way we can let the things that are way down here on the bottom move up. Where's that 5-year-old? Where is that 5-year-old? Because he said the same thing. Where is that little 5-year-old that was in here? Where is he? Where is that little girl that wanted to wear a dress out there in the cold? She said the same thing. Listen to this, folks. Moses asked God, show me your glory. And then he said, I will make all my goodness pass before you. Now, that's my life right there. Just like today. You know, I got my promotion. My boss called me this Monday, told me the good news. Okay, I'm moving up. I've been praying about this. I've been begging God. I've been listening to her, questioning her. You know, I call it God's goodness. You call it chance. Well, the Bible talks about chance too. That came out of the Bible too. But I call it the goodness of God. Then he said, I will make all my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before you. I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious. In other words, he ain't gracious to everybody, atheists. He never said he was. You said that. We didn't say that. You said that. He ain't gonna be gracious to everybody. Everybody don't get God's good treatment. Okay? I wonder who them people would be. And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. I wonder who the people are that he ain't having compassion on. Who are they? I wonder if they believe in God. I think if God totally turns me down on a little bit of compassion, well, I think that it would be easier to claim that he doesn't exist than to sit there and blame the fact that I'm lacking compassion on him. We'll just say he don't exist. That'll fix it. Then he said, you cannot see my face. What kind of evidence are you looking for, atheists? This is funny, but it also shows how dumb you are. This is what we understand about God, regardless of what you claim science has to say about God and what proof you claim there is that God does not exist. This is what we believe about God right here. This is what God told Moses. But he said, you cannot see my face. God told Moses, you can't see this. For no man shall see me and live. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. And the Lord said to Moses, you cannot see my face. For no man shall see me and live. So you don't want to see God. Because if you saw God, you would just disintegrate. Okay? No one has ever seen God at any time. The Bible says, but the Son, the only begotten Son of God, has declared him. That's the only sign you're going to get. It's the sign of Jonah. That's what Jesus said. The sign of Jonah. You know what the sign of Jonah is? The man came and preached. Now repent and turn from your wicked ways. That's the sign of Jonah. Excuse me. All right. You cannot see my face, for no man shall see me and live. There's your evidence for God. You don't get to see God, because if you saw God, you'd be dead. Okay? That's the word of God that I believe. Now, I know to you, you're like, oh, you got to be kidding me, man. Are you crazy? Hey, that's what I believe. That's what I believe. That's what I understand. So when you go to a Christian and you say dumb stuff like, oh, no evidence for God? Where's the evidence for God? Okay, end of discussion. There's no evidence for God, right? Okay, we're done. Yeah, you're right. We are done. Let's not even talk about that. Because if you saw God, when you see God, let me know, because I'm going to get out of the way. And I'm going to find as much ice water as I can find. And I'm gonna freeze myself in there. Because you just going to, you're going to burn. You just going to, no man shall see God and live. And the Lord said, here is a place by me. So he was there. He said, here is a place by me. And you shall stand on the rock. So it shall be, while my glory passes by, that I will put you in the cleft of the rock and will cover you with my hand while I pass by. Now, I know what the atheists are saying. This is where it's funny. Okay, give us a hand. Show me the hand of God. Okay, give me a hand then. I'm busted. The Bible doesn't tell us how Moses saw the hand. That is funny. Okay, who else saw this hand of God? I mean, but Moses was special. He was the first one to bring God's people to that place to where they could be a nation in a time when, as I said in the last video, when anything that wasn't a certain thing was dead. Okay, everybody, they just killed it. But he said, and the Lord said, here is the place by me. You shall stand on the rock. So it shall be, while my glory passes by, that I will put you in the cleft of the rock, and I will cover you with my hand while I pass by. I know what you're thinking. Where's the hand? Show me the hand, and I'll accept that as evidence of God. Sorry, I wish I could, but I can't. Then I will take away my hand, and you shall see my back. Oh, he's got a back. I know what you're thinking. Well, show us the back. That's a big piece of meat right there. Show us the back. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Okay? That ain't even in the New Testament. Okay? I wish I could. If I could see his back, I will, But my face shall not be seen. Okay? Now, here's another one. Let me go to this one first, being I'm out this way. Okay. My man Job. This is one of the favorite books of atheists. They love to go in here and try to debunk some stuff They never read the first chapter of Job. And they never read a Bible that gives you an introduction to Job. Because if you did, you would understand the kind of literature that this is. And you would understand that there's two different things going on, even though it's all considered wisdom. But this is why if you ain't right with God, you need to keep your nose out of the Bible until you do. Okay? You're not going to debunk someone that lives the Bible. The Bible can't be debunked by somebody that is a hater of the Bible and lives contrary to the Bible when there are people that live the Bible and they live better lives than you. There's no way. There's no way. You cannot be a scoundrel and preach the word back to somebody that's been living it all their life. It's just, you can't just Google something and then become a preacher, okay, and preach back. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that, okay? But I bet you wouldn't tell that to a scientist or an evolutionist. You wouldn't say, well, oh, I'm smarter than you, Mr. Scientist, because I'm an atheist. Or I'm smarter than you, Mr. Evolutionist, because I'm an atheist. No, you're not. I've read your science. I've read your evolution. Okay? Whatever I don't agree with it, I know why I don't agree with it, and I'm right because I'm an atheist. It's not going to be like that. But you'll do that to us because you don't have that kind of same respect for us. Okay? My hand, that's as nice as it gets. My hand. I could throw something else in front of the screen. My hand. Okay? Peace, my hand. My whole hand. Look at that. Not even two fingers, my whole hand. You gotta give me some credit. All right. Why am I looking for 26 chapters? Oh, okay. I'm in the wrong book. All right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Truly I know it is so, but how can a man be righteous before God if one wished to contend with him? He could not answer him one time out of 1,000. Okay? Jumping down, I'll spare you all this, the rest of this good literature here, because I know you hate the Bible. I'll jump down to get to my point. He does great things past finding out God. Okay? Yes, wonders without number. This is Job talking. If he goes by me, I do not see him. What kind of evidence are you looking for, atheist? If he goes by me, I do not see him. If he moves past, I do not perceive him. What kind of evidence are you looking for, atheists? Or will you just accept? See, I know your little game. You'll only accept. Or you have not made up your mind yet. If you listen to 5 atheists ask you for evidence of God, even scientific evidence of God, and you say, well, what kind of evidence are you looking for? All 5 people will give you a different answer. Okay? One guy was so gay, he was like, well, if God existed, he would come here and do this for me, and do that for me, and do that for me, and do that for me. And I'm thinking, no, you're talking about your gay lover, dude. That's not God. Okay? I know you miss your daddy, but maybe you need a father figure in your life. Okay? You can get evidence of a father figure. Just ask find yourself a good man that needs a son. Okay? You don't need God for that. You need God to be who God is. Just like you don't need the boss at your job to be up in your face. You don't need the CEO of your company to be up in your face or looking over your shoulder. That's what you got immediate supervisors for. Okay? Anytime your boss got to look over your shoulder all day, something wrong with you, okay, and he don't trust you, all right? If he goes by me, I do not see him. So we serve a God we can't see. Sorry, atheists. We don't serve a God that that was that actor in that movie, God. Okay, we don't serve that kind of God. We don't serve, a God that was like John Travolta in that movie Angels or whatever, or we don't serve a God that sits in a chair with a cigar. We don't serve that kind of God. My God does not smoke. Sorry. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't get laid. He doesn't, he doesn't do any of that stuff. He's pretty much busy keeping you from burning up every day. He's busy keeping you breathing every day. He's busy forgiving you of your sin and allowing you to live here on this planet for another 30, 40, 50 years, okay? However old you are. He's busy keeping his promises found in this Word of God, okay? He's not Conor McGregor, that's for sure. He's invincible. He might be the only person that can beat. If Conor McGregor beats Mayweather, then God might be the only person that can beat Conor McGregor. Okay? That's another video. But I got something to say about that, but that's another video. But nobody is higher than God, and God is not anything that you expect him to be in your flesh, in your evil, sinful nature. What kind of evidence of God are you looking for? Seriously, what kind of evidence? You don't know what kind of evidence of God you're looking for, do you? If he goes by me, I do not see him. If he moves past, I do not perceive him. If he takes away. Hold up. Hold up. Did he take away? Did he take away? That's one of the things that everybody hates about God. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. When you lose your job, who took it? When you lose your mama, your wife, your child, who took it? He don't mind you blaming him, because nobody leaves here or comes here unless he signs it, unless he wants it to happen. All these babies out of wedlock. God, let me in on a secret, but I know that they only come by his will. For whatever reason. For whatever way he's trying to get a message across. For whatever his plan is in the long run. Nothing comes or goes out of this life without his consent. Okay, so the Lord gives and the Lord takes away, right? Capitalized, taketh away. Because you're always complaining about the Lord taking something away. You just don't believe he gives anything. He gives me everything. Because I'm a Christian. So I'm always taking notes. But the Lord does take away. You can't say he doesn't. So if you say he doesn't exist, you are a liar, because you're always complaining about the Lord taking away. If the Lord exists, why does he let all these children die and suffer? If he takes away, who can hinder him? Who can say to him, what are you doing? Try it sometimes. He might answer you. God will not withdraw his anger. Now, God loves us. No doubt. But you can say what you want to say about God all you want to. You can claim he don't exist or whatever. But you will get his wrath. You will get his anger. Maybe even before you get his blessing. Being you blaspheme him so easily. Being you find it so easy to blaspheme him. Okay, the allies of the proud lie prostrate beneath him. I'm out of time. Thank you. I will continue. I have another one I want to share with you, but I'll throw that in the next mix. And thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.